I wanted to start today a new topic of shiurim already, but then I saw there were so many comments on yesterday's shiur, so we're going to have a little bit continuation of yesterday's shiur. So, Bekitzer, we spoke about if a woman could go to armia. So there were so many comments, really, everyone is complimenting each other. There's somebody asking, somebody answering. So I'm going to bring the comments of the people. So first of all, there was a comment from Rabbi Entin. He says, isn't it that right now in milchemes mitzvah, we have a war for defending ourselves? So we said the milchemes would be like the milchama against Amalek, or the milchama of the seven amamin of the 7 nations when we got to Eretz Yisrael. So what about protecting ourselves? Is also a mitzvah. So if that's the mitzvah, maybe it would be the heter for the soldiers, female soldiers to. Right. I mentioned this, but I mentioned this yesterday. But then the etut, maybe this is milchemes mitzvah. Maybe that would be a heter. The female should go to the army,
or even a chiyuv.
Okay, so that was Also, you brought this, Jordan, that maybe it's because the Rambam Takya bring like this. What Ena Melech Nilcham Tchila Milchemes Mitzvah, meaning he doesn't have to take reshus from the Beis Din for that. The next halach he says also before he goes to other wars, which are not choiva, not mitzvah. First, you have to take care of the mitzvah. Ve'ezuzohi, milchemes mitzvah, milchemes shiva amamim. When they got to Eretz Yisrael, Zman Yeshua, they fought the 7 nations. Or milchemes Amalek, when they fought Zman Moshe Rabbeinu still in the desert. Then he brings the edge of Ezas Yisrael miad tzor shebo aleim, to help the Jews to protect them from the enemies that coming upon them. And the MSC is, this is also, Rambam is not mechadash this, it's in the same Gemara, the Gemara talks about it in Soita, Daf Mem Dalet Amud Beis. The Gemara says, some call it mitzvah, some call it choiva. The Gemara says it's the same thing really, 2 different ways to express them. The Gemara says, Kipligi lema'ute oiv de kechovim the lo leise alayu. Mar karele mitzvah. One of them called when the defensive war as a mitzvah. Mar karele reshus. And one of them says it's not a mitzvah. It's only a reshus. That war, only the war that Hashem said to fight. That's called mitzvah. Yeah, you should protect yourself, but it's not a mitzvah. Nafkemin, the Gemara says lo oisek b'mitzvah. Shepoter min a mitzvah. If it's a mitzvah, oisek b'mitzvah, poter min a mitzvah. So anyway, without getting to details of this Gemara, the Rambam Paskin, like according to the Man Domer, it's a mitzvah. If it's a mitzvah, the male female soldiers could go and fight, and like it's a mitzvah, we need them. Okay, then. So again, l'choira, it's remained as a question. What l'choira, they would be allowed to, according to this shiur, there's no way they could go to the army. But l'choira, this war, and according to this, all the wars really we there to defend ourselves for the enemies. If we're gonna let for 1 second the weapon, they'll take over. They're waiting for that. So l'choira, it will be according to this as milchemes mitzvah. They should be able to go and fight to defend. However, and that's what the Rambam writes in Perek Zayin in Halacha Dalet. Ava b'milchemes mitzvah akol yoitzin v'afilu chosen mechedroi b'kalo mechoposo. So then I had another comment from Eli Polterak. He brings the Radvaz on this Rambam, and the Radvaz explains what's the pshat of the female going to fight in a war. The Radvaz says, I'm going to read it inside. It says like this. Braisa Keloshin Rabbeinu, the kosher. That's the Rambam writes. It's a braisa, but he says it's a kasha on the Rambam. On the braisa also. Chiderech hanoshim lasas milchama. Do they know to fight? That's their derech. The Ktona v'kala mechuposa. What do you want the kala to go fight? What she knows about fight? V'oksiv kol kveda basmelech penimo. And can't tell me I'm training her. The female should be able to fight when it comes time. Kol kveda basmelech penimo. So he says, "V'yeshloimar, dochi komar." Says that's the pshat in the Gemara, and that's the pshat also in the Rambam according to this. Kevan the chosen yotzu mechedro, if the chosen is not doing his sheva brachas, he's not celebrating his yom tov, he's going to fight the war. It says kallo yotzu mechuposo shena noegas yimei chupa. She's not going to also celebrate. She's not going to celebrate her chasna when the husband is in the war. Ve'efshad ve'milchemes mitzvah anoshim v'yu mesapkos mayim u'mozen leba'aleyan. Maybe he needs to go to that war with the husband, even with the chassan. The kala will go. Just he's fighting, and she bring him the food. She bring him the water. She's not fighting. V'chen ha'minhag hayom ba'araviyos. Says in Arab countries that was the minhag. The man used to fight. The woman used to help them as the assistants, giving them water, giving them food to assist them. So according to this taka, never and there's no they didn't go to the war. Okay. That's one. Second thing is, I answered this yesterday to Rabbi Antin. Even though you're going to come from this point of view that that's a mitzvah to go to the war, and that's why they're going to the war, we still didn't take care of the other problem. We mentioned psukim and Torah, machanecha kodesh. So, and Mimele, if machanecha is not kodesh, you're not helping the war. You're weakening the war, because Hashem is not with you to protect you over there. So the way the whole thing over there taking place, it's not b'fchinas machanecha kodesh. He's already left. Mr. Leaf also said from his own personal experience, he was at the army. I don't want to say even what the story he said over. It's not good. I couldn't repeat the story, but it's a lot of for so much. There's no need to bring a proof what's going on over there, whether it's in Israel army or in America. All these armies, which is that's the fruits of the liberal movement. This is not good. This is not good for the army of B'derech HaTeva to win a war. It's not good because there's no machanecha kodesh. There's no holiness over there. Hashem is not there. And punkt yesterday, I saw in the news that they had a 3 days training in the north of Israel. They're training, they're preparing to go fight in Lebanon. And they had to sleep on the field for 3 days. And they slept on the field, male and female soldiers, against the rules of the army, that's the distance they have to have. And they were afraid to complain because some of them afraid of their superiors. They're going to then they won't take it the right way. So one of the women that her husband was in the miluim, in the reserve, she wrote to them. She says about this Indian. It says, "What you going to do with Machanecha Kodesh? I want my husband to serve in the army. That's a holy camp over there. That Hashem helping them to protect them." So you see the matzav over there. It's not helping them. This is the whole matzav is not helping them at all. And another time I had, when you're going to say that you need take the chosen mechedra v'kala mechuposo when you need them, you need a manpower, you need help. But if you have millions of people that men don't go to war, why you take a woman? Take the man first. Take the man. And furthermore, the time that they're gonna we need more soldiers and the Haredim don't go to army. If you enable them, make them a place that they could be there and keep the standards and don't fight the religion, many of them would go. The reason they don't go because they know the atmosphere, they know the environment over there. So mainly with all this, really, there's no really any heter for especially training them lechatchila, those female soldiers, or to be in the army. It's definitely not productive. It doesn't help them in any shape and form.
Yeah, it doesn't say Carlos is going to the front.
Right. That's what the radar. Yeah, very good. Now, now I want to just add to it. There is one religion today. It's a very radical religion, and it's not Islam. If you think it's not. It's worse than Islam. It's the liberalism, the progressive. It's a very, very radical religion, and I'll tell you why. In which way it's even worse than Islam. Islam religion, they aggressive. They would go kill anybody standing against them, and that's what they're doing. They're conquering the world. They're going. But the progressive liberal religion, it's mamash practicing human sacrifice. They're willing to sacrifice their own countries, themselves, just to bring on the mizbeach of the liberalism, on the altar of liberalism, their korbanos. Look, all over the world. And America opened all the borders. It's hurting Americans. They don't care, but that's the agenda, the liberal agenda. In Europe, they welcome all the immigrants because of equality or whatever, or inclusion, whatever you call those progressive liberals' ideas. They just now waking up that they're destroying themselves, that they destroying their culture, destroying them, compromising their safety. It's a lot of crimes. So that's exactly what's going on in this. And by the way, they say after October 7, we're protecting ourselves. What caused the October 7? Mainly, not a lot of people talking about it yet. After the war, they're probably going to talk about it more. What caused the October 7 was exactly the fruits of the liberalism. It was sacrificing the Israelis because of the idea of friendship with them, believing in the enemy, loving the enemy. So the bottom line is, what they're doing right now after the October 7th, that's still ladies involved over there, and mamish weakening the army within, spiritually and physically. This is not productive. No, I want to Messiah. What also that Eli Poltrak sent me from the Rebbe in 1976. Tov Shel Lamed Vov. The Rebbe spoke in a Sichem that a woman going to the army at Yihoreg V'al Ya'avar. A lot of tzaddikim those days said that it's Yihoreg V'al Ya'avar. Not only don't go, it's Yihoreg V'al Ya'avar. It's bring to Gilei Aroyas, and one of the Gilei Aroyas is one of the mitzvahs that Yihoreg V'al Ya'avar. And the Rebbe was wondering how come many people, he mentioned different states, Melbourne and New York, London, why come they don't scream, all of them, against the woman going to the army? So he said in Israel there was an attempt to silence the Rosh Yeshivas. He says, we're not going to give you money if you're going to go sign against the drafting the female soldiers to the army. And the Rebbe mentioned Rebbe Velvel Brisker, he says, we'll close all the yeshivas, but we're not going to give an approval that the woman should go to the army. And the Rebbe said he succeeded. They didn't give the approval, and they didn't close the yeshivas. So there's certain things, it's not negotiable. There's really no heter. It's ad kedei kach yoreg val ya'avor. There's really no heter for a woman to go down. There's no need for it. There's no heter for it. All it does, it just, like I said, it's a sacrifice, bring a sacrifice on the mizbeach of the liberalism to push an agenda of feminism, of inclusion, or whatever you want to call those nice words, and not doing any favor to anybody, just harming the armies. Okay.